What's happening, my friends? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT, D for the win. Trump, Mike Mazik. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, the Box Story. Today, the punch of the week, the overhand. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Historian, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing, the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it, can't get enough of it. And how is everyone on this Tuesday afternoon edition of Cast Sports, the Box Historian? Still early in the week. What's up, Joe? Joe in the building. Salute. Can't do a Cast Sports now without Joe dropping all them gems in the chat. Joe is a big boxing history guy. Appreciate you, Joe. But the overhand today. Tommy Hearns' overhand was dangerous, man. Yeah. And the cross. Yup. And the jab. Tommy Hearns was serious, man. And one of the top punchers of all time, too. One of the top 5 in non-heavyweight as far as punching power. Yeah. Hearns got to be up there, man. Yeah. But salute to everyone. I appreciate you joining Cast Sports today on this Tuesday afternoon. Still early in the week. And, you know, we got that big one coming up. I remember when they were just talking and putting that card together, and now we're in fight week. This is Turkey Ali Sheik's big first card in the U.S. First time Red Yard season coming to the United States out there in L.A. Bud Crawford headlining against Madrimov and Andy Cruz and the original Big Baby. I thought the other Big Baby was on the card too, but all of a sudden he's not on there. Anybody know what happened? I could have sworn Jared Anderson was on there too, but he's been scratched, it looks like, because I was saying this is the first time both Big Babies were on the same card. But now, Dwayne Barbic, yeah. John Tate and Ken Norton proved that, yeah, Joe. Like Dwayne got beat by everybody, but he fought him. You got to find your resume, Dwayne Barbic, yeah. And Dwayne was in the 72 Olympics. He lost to Teofilo Stevenson, remember? Yeah. He was one of Teofilo's victims. Yeah, Dwayne. I think Dwayne got the gold medal in the Pan American Games. I think he might have beat Teofilo in the amateurs. I'm not sure, but I know he lost to him in the Olympics. Yeah. That was Teofilo's first gold medal. It's a shame Teofilo Stevenson never turned professional because, we had always wondered how him and Ali would have did in there to get against each other. But they almost had Teofilo in the late 70s. But I think the United States State Department stopped it because one of the promoters was giving Fidel Castro, was giving a whole bunch of money to Cuba to let Teofilo fight against Ali. But then I think the United States State Department didn't want all that money going to Cuba, and they stepped in and stopped it, man. Yeah. I hate when politics get mixed up in sports, because sports is a way where we get away from politics and all that kind of nonsense. Remember, like when they stopped all those Olympians in 1980? Jimmy Carter did it when Russia invaded Afghanistan, and then the United States. The Olympics was in Moscow, Russia, and the United States boycotted, and all those people made the Olympic team, man. Achieved their life lifelong dream of fighting in whatever sport they were in the Olympics, and then the government gonna stop it, man. They could have found some other kind of way to punish Russia. And then guess what happened 20 years later? The United States invaded Afghanistan itself. It's crazy, man. And then in 84, it was in LA. The Russians wasn't coming, or Cuba. Russia's close allies. So a whole bunch of youngsters got their dreams ruined by politics. Back around that time, the American youngsters, and then 4 years later, the Russian youngsters, man, And you have to put an asterisk by those two Olympics because, Russia and the United States are two of the top countries competing in the Olympics, and those two, United States wasn't in 80, Russians wasn't in 84, so I put an asterisk by it, because a lot of those people that got gold medals wouldn't have got them. If the Americans had been in 80 and the Russians had been in 84, so yeah, just crazy, man. What's up, Al Booger in the building? How you doing today, AB? Talking about the overhand today. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's just crazy, man. Anybody catch that show me and Old School Rand did yesterday? Pretty good show. We're going to get together and talk about some of these old fighters and fights every so often. We was saying once a month, but it's been going so good that we're going to try to do it a little bit more often whenever Old School is free, And yeah, we're going to get together on that and do some more shows together. Because Old School is full of boxing history too, we got to tap into that. Yeah. But yeah, it was a pretty good show yesterday. We talked about Sonny Liston. Yeah, just kind of sad the way his life went. He got mixed up with the mafia right at the beginning of his career, man, and never got away from it throughout his entire career. And the way his life ended, man, he was still entangled up with them. And everybody say that the mafia was involved in his death. Just a sad story. A very talented guy, Sonny was, man, and career would have went totally different, if we hadn't been mixed up, with underworld figures. But yeah, it was a pretty good show. We're going to be doing something on Muhammad Ali coming up soon, probably the next couple weeks. But yeah, the overhand today. Yeah, I got some I got some guys that had good overhands, like Rocky Marciano, Suzy Q. Madonna had a pretty good one too. Marcos Madonna, remember? And Tim Witherspoon. Yeah, Tommy Turns, like Joe said. And Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray had a good every kind of punch, man, Any kind of punch I talk about when I do the profile. Sugar Ray Robinson is in it, man. He was the man, the pound for pound list was created for. Thought to be the greatest boxer of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson, yeah. But I got about 8 people that had good overhand. And Joe, I didn't even put Thomas Hearns in it, but we know about Thomas Hearns, that overhand right, and like I said, that right cross and that jab. Thomas Hearns had like a chopping type punch, man. When he was doing his punches, he always was like throwing downward, and then at the last minute he would turn that elbow up, man, and that would put more torque on it, man. And whew. And Joe Louis is like an artist the way he threw his punches, man. Yeah, thing of beauty. I call Joe Louis the greatest. Sorry, Ali, but yeah, Joe Louis, man. That 12-year run was just greatest. And you gotta look like I always say, you gotta look inside what he was doing during those 12 years, man. Only 2 people went the distance. He had 25 straight title defenses. That's the record. Only out of those 25, only 2 people lasted the distance with him, man. That's greatest type stuff there. And 15 within the first 5 rounds. Stop it. 5, I think it was 5 in the first, 5 or 6 in the first round. Yeah. And then fighting 6-7 times a year, man. Back then. Might fight, what's this, July? Might fight this month and turn around and have another fight in August. I told you Jake LaMotta fought Sugar Ray twice in 3 weeks, their second and third fight. And then 2 weeks after the third Sugar Ray fight, he fought somebody else. Man fought like 3 times in a little over a month. Willie Pep, twice in 10 days. Yeah. Tim Layton, hashtag JBT in the building. What's up, nephew? That's my JBT nephew there, Tim Layton. What's up, Tim? Good to see you today, bro. Always good to see Tim Layton. case I want to know something. Ask the question that Tim had to answer in the chat before I finish with the question. But salute Tim Layton. Hashtag JBT. Just boxing talk. Fire your organization, man. Steadily adding channels. Trying to take up these airwaves all day long. We getting there. Gotta get BN Boxing News a slot. And anybody else you feel like starting the channel, come on into this JBT. And we're gonna get you there. We work together here, man, you know. Yeah, we got a fire technological team. Remo and Aunt McQueen and Corey Fates. Man. Can't nobody touch them guys, man, when it comes to technology and that kind of stuff, man. Just crazy knowledge. And speaking of Remo, we got a Let's Talk Fashion tomorrow. It's Wednesday again already almost, man. It's time for this by. And hopefully he'll be in here today and we get a heads up, an early look at what's going to be happening tomorrow morning on Let's Talk Fashion, 10 a.m. Wednesday. Tuesday already. See what else we got coming up this week. We got, of course, yesterday was me and Old School on Sunday Listing. I think it was pretty good. Today is the Overhand. Tomorrow it's going to be, I'm going to talk about some father and son fighters, fathers and sons that fought and were successful at it. And then some fathers and daughters, because it was some father-daughter teams too now that both fought. And then some father-son training teams, you know, like the Haneys, Yoel and Zab Judah, the Teofimo Jr. and Senior, you know, yeah, some father-son teams. And then Thursday, the Boxing in the State series continues. It's Florida this week. Florida got a whole bunch of boxers out of Florida, man. Roy Jones, a whole bunch of them. Yeah, and that's Thursday. And then the profile this week, Friday, is going to be the life and career of Miguel Cotto. Yeah. That's a nice long one. Yeah, Miguel Cotto. Yeah, he had a fire career. Had that hook, one of the best hooks in the business. But one of the best left hooks in the business, Cotto. Yeah. Very good fighter. One of those Puerto Rico. Yeah. Fire resume too. For them all. Bunch of them during this era. Okay, Trump says Cotto was also susceptible to right hands. Mosley caught him and Mayweather through combinations of looping right around his guard. Couldn't get out the way. Yeah, we're going to talk about it Friday, Trump. Yeah, we are going to talk about all that Friday. Yep. Well, Mayweather's last professional boxer was Andre Berto. Right, Andre Berto from Florida. That's right, Trump. He's going to be in the profiles. Yeah. I was looking at it the other day, but I forgot half of them. So, yeah. Andre Berto and Roy Jones. This is a whole bunch of them. Of the states I did so far, I think Florida has about the most, man. Yeah. A whole truckload of professional boxers came out of Florida. Then we got Pro Box Happens down there. Got some good boxing venues. Yeah, we talk about a little history. Some venues in the state, you know. Some of the significant events. Florida has a very good Golden Gloves program there too. A nice solid Hall of Fame. Florida Athletic Hall of Fame, you know, all the athletes. And it's going to be Friday. Thursday, Boxing in the State series, Florida, going right on through the alphabet. We'll probably be still doing that in 2025. Yeah. And I can't think of the kid's name. Is back in the ring in a couple of weeks. You know, I'm talking about the young kid that's fighting every couple of months. Just a killer. Got that killer instinct. Get you in trouble. That's a wrap. Come on, somebody tell me the name. I think he fights on the 17th. Mason. What's his first name? Last name Mason. Yeah, he's fighting, I think, on the 17th. And he's a killer, man. He got that killer Bud type killer instinct. I have never seen anybody get in trouble in a fight with him yet and escape, you know. He's like a shark that smells blood in the water. When he gets you in trouble, that's a wrap. It's over, man. And man, 135 got a whole bunch of young fighters coming up. It's going to be. Raymond Muratalla is fighting whoever it is. He's gonna kill him. Oh, veteran boxer. But I think Raymond's gonna take him out. I'm just so sorry that they had to scratch that Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz fight on their card this weekend, man. That would have probably been the fight of the night. Old school had Virgil stopping Tim Tszyu. I don't know about that, man. But Virgil's 100% knockout rate, like better be yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if he would have stopped Tim Tszyu though. Jersey Joe Walcott fought Phil Johnson years later. He fought the son. Wow, Harold Johnson. Joe Bugner fought Joe Frazier. Then fought Marvis Frazier a decade later. Okay, Joe. Wow. Yeah, that'll be some stuff we can talk about tomorrow. Fathers and sons that fought the same people. So Jersey Joe fought Phil Johnson. I never knew Harold Johnson's father was a fighter, Phil Johnson. Never made that connection. Heard of both of them. I did not know they were father and son. Okay, thank you, Joe. And Joe Frazier and Marvis fought, who was it? Joe Bugner? Okay, yeah. I don't think Marvin's heart was really into boxing. I think Joe, it was really something. Joe wanted his son to follow in his footsteps because, yeah. And that Holmes fight, remember the Holmes fight, Joe, when Holmes was hitting him and waiting for the referee to come in and stop it and then tag him a couple more times. Come on, referee, get in here. I don't want to hit this boy no more. Joe was his trainer. I know Joe wanted to jump in and attack Holmes, but Joe, he was on the sideline looking in. I know that really bothers your father when you was a fighter, your son in there getting pieced up and nothing you can do, but you can't get in there and help him. That's really probably really bothered Joe. Joe never fought Larry Holmes though. Nope. No, he didn't. And Joe and Kid Norton never fought either. They were good friends. Yeah, they never fought. But yeah, I didn't know that, Joe. Yeah. Phil Johnson and Harold Johnson both fought Jersey Joe Walcott, right? Marvis, yeah, I can see Marvis and Joe because Joe Bugner was around for a long time. He spanned both of their careers, you know, Joe Frazier and Marvis. It was old Joe Bugner that fought Marvis. Who won that one, Joe, between Joe Bugner and Marvis Frazier? I did not know about that fight. I'm gonna have to check that out. Joe Bugner and Marvis Frazier. We're gonna get started in about 5 minutes. I always wait until 2:30. The Overhand today. Pretty good show. And then I got some 5 fighters that had like signature punches. They named them. Like Manny had that right hook. He called it Manila Ice. You know, Manila Philippines. He called it Manila Ice. Of course, Rocky and Suzy Q. You can't do anything about some fighters that name their punch and leave out Suzy Q. And everybody Rocky met in a championship fight. Suzy Q stopped him. Every one of them. Everybody Rocky met in title fights, he stopped. Now, he didn't stop Ezzard Charles in the first one, but he gave him a rematch and stopped him in the second. Yeah. Oh, Marvis beat him on points. Okay, Joe. Marvis got him on points. Okay. I'm going to have to watch that. Never seen that fight. Marvis Frazier and Joe Bugner. Yeah, but tomorrow we're going to talk about some father and sons that were fighters, and then some father and son training teams. You know, I don't know if I should include Teofimo Sr. in there or not, because that guy's a nut, man. But hey, his son is a world champion in 2 weight divisions now. So hey, Senior must be doing something right. You know, his son is a champion right now. But see, like Teofimo, like BBO said, he fights up or down to the competition. You know, like when he was in there with Josh Taylor, he just had and Loma. Look how good he fought, but then when they get in there with lower competition, he doesn't fight as good. So yeah, he's one of them ones. Fight according to who he's in there with. Teofimo, yeah. Somebody was mentioning him at 47, but Teofimo is smallish. I don't know about him at 47. I know he wants no part of Boots. He's just clout chasing Bud. Bud would destroy him. Bud and Teofimo, Bud would destroy him, man. But you never know. Freemotor surprised us a couple times. I picked him to beat Loma. I didn't know Loma was going to go 6 rounds without fighting. But yeah, I picked Teofimo to win that one. But Loma came on strong late. But he took his foot off the gas at the end, just like he did against Devin. Had a habit of doing that. And that's surprising with the experience that Loma has to take his foot off the gas in the of all rounds, the 12th round. You know, done that in 2, excuse me, hiccups. It's a bad time to hit a hiccup. Yeah, Sharp-Ass Senior and Sharp-Ass Junior, Joe. That's right. Melanin Queen 27. Good afternoon in the building. Melanin Queen 27. Salute Melanin Queen 27. How are you today? Melanin Queen 27 is the definition of what a moderator is, man. You know, always keeping the chat on along, hit the like, and you know, just all through the show, doing those type of things. I appreciate Melanin Queen 27, and she's in the building. Salute to Melanin Queen 27. We are talking about the overhand today. Now, overhand right now, there's an overhand left too, you know. Got some lefters that can throw the overhand from the southpaw position, but mainly the overhand right is, I don't have any lefties in the profiles. But I got a picture of one throwing one. But we getting ready to get into it. How is everybody today? It's early in the week. Just basically coming off the weekend. But this is the big one this weekend. Boxing is in great shape, man. And we still don't know. We know we got Tank coming up in the fall, but we thought it was going to be Loma, but he wasn't in the mood, so you know, it is what it is. Maybe we can get Shakur in there. I wanted them to be for Undisputed, though, man. That would have made it that much better, you know. I don't think Tank has ever been Undisputed. Shakur either. Although Shakur is a what, 3 division? I think Tank is a 3 division too. Didn't he have a title at 126? Yeah. No. 140, 130, 135. I'll have to check on it. Tank might be 4 division. I don't know. I know Shakur is 3 division. He's been a champion in every division he's been in. So I don't understand all the flack he catches, man. You know, all the man done has won, you know, since he's been in there. I mean, if his style is defensive and he's a boxer, you know, the object is to get your hand raised at the end of the fight. And he's done that in every fight he's been in. So, hey, I can't say nothing bad about the guy, man. You know, 3 division champion. And every fight he's been in as a professional, he's gotten his hand raised. So, hey, ain't that the object of it? You know? I don't think he's boring. He's winning. That's what I say about it. But let's get ready to talk about this overhand punch. We're going to talk about what it is and how do you exactly how you execute it, and we're going to talk about some ways to defend against the overhand too. Yep. Some ways to defend the overhand, you know, like ducking under. Somebody throw the overhand at you, duck their overhand and throw your own over top of their overhand, you know. That's one way to defend it, you know. But timing is crucial in that one. To be able to duck theirs and throw yours right at the right moment, because you're not going to have but a moment when you got that opening after they throw their overhand to get yours in there. So timing is crucial, you know, on that tactic right there. Throw your overhand or duck theirs and then throw yours over there overhand. But we're going to get into it right now. Okay. Get up here to my slide display. Bill Knuckles in here. He would let me know when the music was just right. I'm going to leave it right there. When I go back to the replay, the music is always perfect, but low when I'm live. Let me see. That's good. Okay. Is that good, Al Booger? The music? I think it is. Okay. Let's go with today's show. the punch of the week. It's the overhand. I'm running out of punches. Next week is going to be the bolo punch. We've done the hook, the cross, the uppercut. We talked about combinations. The overhand now next week is going to be the bolo. And I'll come up with something. Okay. Trump says Chavez Sr. stopped Taylor with a notorious. And oh yeah, that was crazy, Trump. What was it? 2 seconds left. Taylor had just about won every round. That was Richard Steele, man. Wow, that was crazy. And you know, Trump, I say he stopped it. You stop fights because you're scared of the damage that can be done to a fighter. But anything that was done, it was already done. What else can you do in 2 seconds, man? Guy had any kind of damage done to it, it was already done. 2 seconds. He might as well let that finish, man. 2 seconds. Al Booker don't think so. Al Booker said, protect yourself at all times. You don't care if it's half a second. Yeah, but man, 2 seconds. Oh man, that was crazy when that happened. Yeah. Chavez got a few gifts, like the draw against Sweet Pea Whitaker. Sweet Pea basically washed him, and they called that a draw. That was crazy there too. But hey, that's boxing, you know. Just look at Conceição and Shaq, a couple weeks, Foster, a couple weeks ago. But Shaq did say if he get that rematch, Shaq said they don't need to assign any judges to that fight because Conceição ain't seeing the 12th round in the rematch. Shaq said it will not be left up to the judges. Okay. So, yeah, I think he deserves a good close fight like that and controversial. Back in the day, they would have already scheduled the rematch. The fighters would want it, you know, because of course the one that lost would be saying you didn't really win, and the one that got the decision would be saying, okay, I'll show you I won. I'll do it again. But now, you know, you just let that kind of stuff hang, man, you know. But the punch of the week this week is the cross. I got the wrong page. No, the overhand. What am I doing? The overhand. Okay. Corey Frank's in the building. What's up, Corey? That's part of that Friday JBT technological team. Drop my pen. Analytics, technological. Corey Franks, Remo, and McQueen. We got that covered. Big time, man. Big time. Not fire. Okay? But the overhand, not the cross, the overhand. That was last week. Okay? Let's talk about it. Okay. There's an overhand right there. Big looping overhand. Now that's an overhand there. Wow. That's the overhand. Now, how to set up and land an overhand, right? In boxing. Now, knockout power in boxing, nothing packs more punch than the overhand right, okay? This punch carries considerable knockout power, making it a weapon to be feared. But if you don't know how to throw it correctly, you might as well not bother with it, okay? This shot is referred to as the overhand right because it comes over your opponent's lead hand as opposed to the straight right, which goes through the guard, okay? Overhand comes over, the straight right, you're trying to shoot right through it, you know, try to come in between or around the side, but the overhand, you loop it over, okay? Now, the mechanics behind the overhand is similar to throwing a baseball, right? As it needs to be wound up and thrown over the top with lots of momentum. You know, use your hips and shoulder along with your swing, your hips and your shoulder into it. Now you will build up a large amount of torque and velocity when you get your hips and shoulder into it correctly. Okay? Thomas Hill, what's up, T Hill? In the building. How are you today, Thomas Hill? How's everything out there in California? California, IA. Okay. Now let's look at the technique. for the overhand right. That's Thomas Hill hashtag JBT. Just boxing talk. That's all. This is JBHT. Just boxing history talk. Here, okay. Technique for throwing the overhand right. Page 2. Oh, I got page 3. I'm sorry. Okay, technique. Now, to throw the punch properly, your left foot needs to step in the same direction as the punch. Meaning, if you're fighting in the orthodox style, your front foot goes forward and to the left, right? Slightly. You know, just the opposite from southpaw. Take your front foot forward, lightly to the right, in the same direction of the punch, okay? Let me get my place marker. Here we go. Now, as you step in, you shift your weight onto your front leg to get your full weight behind the punch, okay? Get your weight going forward. Get all your weight behind the punch. Now, the step naturally puts your arm in an arc shape, which will help you to get around your opponent's guard or over it, okay? Now, some boxers like to keep their back foot where it is and maintain a wide stance when they throw the overhand. This allows for them to fall back with relative ease. Now, when punching this way, it is wise to roll out to the right once the punch has been thrown to save you from getting counted. You know, if you're going to stay there and keep your foot back after you throw the punch, you got to shift, you know. You got to roll out to the right, to the side to keep from getting counted. Now, when you step with it, you're naturally going, you know, with it in the direction that you're punching. That will assist you from getting counted already, okay? Now, it's more sensible to bring your back foot forward with you, like I was saying. See, there I go again, getting ahead of the notes. Now, it's more sensible to bring your back forward with you. And plus, that will help you from keeping counted. Plus, it will put more twist on the punch. And doing so will also keep your feet squared so that you don't lose balance, okay? So, you know, some fighters like they keep their foot back, but it's best to step with it, you know, as you're punching. Now, finding range. Now, in boxing, you never stop working on the fundamentals. And as far as range and distance are concerned, if your opponent can hit you with the jab, chances are you can get them with the overhand, right? So some boxers like to step in with sharp, tight punches to avoid being too exposed. Whereas others, such as fighters like knockout artist Deontay Wilder, he likes to throw big, wide, looping punches. Now keep in mind that telegraphing overhands will be easy to avoid and to counter. And if your opponent is taller or has a longer reach than you, you may need to slip in the range, okay? Now the overhand right is likely kryptonite. Now the overhand right is like kryptonite to a southpaw, you know? Even Manny Pacquiao has fallen victim to a knockout by this crushing punch when he faced Juan Manuel Marquez, remember? Manny appeared to be winning the fight, but Marquez fainted low, causing Manny to drop his guard, and then he was caught with a looping overhand right, putting Manny on the deck where he stayed. Remember that fight? Yeah, that was an overhand right Marquez got him with. He fainted low down to the body. Manny dropped that guard. Marquez came over. That was all she wrote. Now, timing is everything for success with the overhand. You know, an opponent's defense must be open for it to land effectively. Right? Excuse me for a moment. Yeah. Okay. Now, an opponent's defense must be open for it to land effectively. as is the case with the overhand left, right? Just opposite with the southpaw. Now, the punch also provides a number of countering opportunities. Now, Vasil Lomachenko often dips to his left and to his right when in front of his opponent. Then he waits for the right moment and uses the dip as a load up for his overhand. Okay. Flatline, yeah, you must be talking about Manny T. Hill. Okay, now let's look at some setups to the overhand. I had this all set up. My slide display. Every 2 pages. 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, okay. Now, let's look at some setups for the overhand. Now, boxing is also known as the sweet science, right? Now, your job is a perfect tool for setting up overhand rights. Let me start that. Got my notes mixed up. Now, boxing is also known as the sweet science, right? Now, your job is a perfect tool for setting up the overhand right, as it will preoccupy your opponent. Your jab. The jab is a perfect tool for setting up the overhand. I told you I can't read my own handwriting sometimes. That's jab. I'm talking about job. And I wrote it. Your jab, not job, kids, jab. Your jab is a perfect tool for setting up the overhand right, as the jab will preoccupy your opponent with what's in front of them, right? Now, Triple G is known to use this tactic, throwing jabs at his opponent so he shells up, then coming around with the overhand right. And when watching him fight, you will notice how he sometimes would feint the overhand to gauge whether or not the opponent reacts to it. If his opponent doesn't, the next time it's usually for real, right? I had Triple G on here too. Okay. Yeah, the next time it's for real. He'll feint the first time to get the reaction. You don't react. The next time he coming with that overhand on you. Triple G. He was good at that. Now, barrel rolling is another sneaky way to set up an overhand. And it is also a defensive move that's useful when you are under fire. Now, to achieve it, you need to wait for your opponent to throw a hook. And as you duck and go underneath it, bring your right hand over the top as you come up. Now, don't dip too low, and keep your eyes on your opponent at all times. Okay? That's the barrel roll. Keep your eye on your opponent at all times. Now, another option to get past somebody's guard is to scoop their lead hand down as though you're pulling a lever. Tank does that, right? Now, you can actually use their resistance as leverage to pull yourself towards them while bringing your right hand straight over the now defunct lead hand. You pulled it down, right? Now, tactics like this are rare and will intimidate your opponent and make them feel like they are out of their depth. Now, there's some counters for the overhand too, okay? Oh my goodness, I done messed my slide display up. Bear with me for a minute. Let me get back on track here. Okay, that's where I was at. There's coming over right there. Yeah. Okay, countering the overhand. Okay, now, if you trust your reflexes enough, you can always try to bait your opponent into throwing a jab. From there, you can slap their lead hand down and bring the overhand above it. You can also start your punch low so your opponent thinks you are going for a body shot. This setup works very well against southpaws. okay, and can also be used as a counter over a lead right from another orthodox fighter. Now, if you end up fighting somebody who repeatedly throws a lot of overhands at you, don't despair. This provides a perfect opportunity to duck underneath their overhand and throw your own, right? That's what I was talking about in the opening. They want to throw a lot of overhands, okay. Just duck underneath it and throw your own overhand, okay? Yeah. Duck underneath it, throw your own overhand. Now, if you're quick enough, you will get to their chin before they return their guard back into position. Like I was saying, Marcos Madonna was a master at this tactic, which even the great Floyd Mayweather had trouble dealing with. Yep. That's what Marco did a lot in that first fight that gave Floyd so much trouble. See, there's a lefty, southpaw with the overhand right there. Yeah. Now, remember, the overhand right is a dangerous punch for you and your opponent. It will do a lot of damage if it lands, but keep in mind, you will often be exposing yourself in the process of executing this shot. So make sure you keep your guard up, right? On your left side, that's if you're orthodox. If you're southpaw, that'll be your right side. But make sure you keep your guard up on the left side as the orthodox, right side of the southpaw. Keep your guard up as you swing around, and make sure you set it up properly. It is also very important to have an exit strategy for after the punch has landed, such as a roll or sidestep to get you out of harm's way. And the best way to counter an overhand right is to lean back and counter with your own before your opponent resets. Also, you can block it by bringing your left hand up as though you are answering the phone. And remember, this I'm talking about orthodox, so everything will be just the opposite for southpaw, right? Now you can block it by bringing your left hand up as though you are answering the phone, right? Now keep in mind that blocking can still cause you some damage. And if your opponent notices you blocking the shot, they might feint an overhand right to draw your guard up, to block, and then shoot to your body. So always keep your defense tight at all times. Yeah, that is very important. Always keep your defense tight at all times. Okay? Let's talk fashion in the building. There's Remo. Salute. Let's talk fashion. Remo. #JBT. And we have tomorrow is Wednesday already. You got another Let's Talk Fashion tomorrow. Okay? Maybe we can get our preview this week. Maybe. We'll have to see about 3:45. Maybe we can get a preview on it. I don't know. We'll see at 4:45. Okay. Let's continue. But let's talk fashion tomorrow at 10 a.m. Another fire episode coming up. This time is going by fast, man. That's once a week, but it seemed like almost every day. But that's a good thing, Got that fire fashion or clashing. There was a lot of clashing last Wednesday, man. Wow. A lot of clashing. So we see what happened tomorrow. Okay. Now, how to defend and counter the overhand right. We're going to go into that a little bit deeper now. How do you defend, counter against the overhand right? Okay. Yeah, Tanks was an uppercut, Rainbow. You are correct. Yup. 100%. Yeah. Okay. Now, True shots are as devastating as a well-executed overhand right in the boxing, right? True shots. If you execute it right, there's few punches that are more devastating because the overhand right can get a lot of power up. It's coming from a long ways. Always throwing with your backhand, right? Always with your backhand. You cannot throw an overhand right with your lead hand. I mean, overhand, whatever. You can't throw an overhand punch with your lead hand. That's too close. You're gonna find yourself getting pieced up, okay? Because if you're orthodox, your entire left side is going to be wide open, okay? With the backhand, it's coming from the back, and you still got your lead hand for defense, okay? So always with the backhand, and not too many punches more devastating than an overhand right in boxing, if executed properly now, right? Now, it is one of the most powerful punches a fighter can eat inside the ropes. So learning how to avoid it is crucial. Now, defending an overhand right starts with a few basic factors: distance, angles, and positioning. Now, when these areas are mastered, the rest falls into place. You know, if you got the distance, angles, your positioning down, yeah, everything else falls right into place. Now, throwing the overhand right can put the attacker in a shaky position. Like I said earlier, you know, when you're throwing an overhand right, you have to pay attention to your defense and what's coming back at you, because it does put you in a shaky position. Now, if a defensive fighter knows how to counter it, there's vulnerability to exploit, right? And sometimes boxers get too comfortable throwing the overhand right because it's an easy shot to fall in love with, because the punch is relatively easy to throw and it can be devastating when it lands. So that causes a lot of fighters to fall in love with the shot and start throwing it too much. Now, the first step to defending the overhand right is, I keep saying right, but you know, southpaws can throw the overhand too, but everything is just turned around the opposite way. But the first step to defending overhand right is knowing how to throw the overhand right, okay? Now, when you examine and analyze this punch, you can reverse it on your opponent and be in a good position to stop it. Know how to throw it, that's the best way to defend against it. Now, due to the overhand's looping, unpredictable trajectory, its final path can sometimes be tough to predict. But this awkwardness can be turned back on your opponent to create opportunities for counters, especially when you know it's coming. See, somebody fall in love with it and keep going. Yeah, it's easy to counter it. Excuse me for a minute. Take a drink of water. I had the heat cups when I started. First time I had the heat cups, trying to do a live, but they're gone. Now, preparing to defend the overhand right. Okay. Now, when it comes to the overhand, your boxing stance and position are vital. These dictate the proximity to danger. Let me talk about defending now. Your stance and positioning are vital. These two things dictate the proximity to danger and will make it either easier or tougher for your opponent to connect. Your stance and position will either make it easier or more difficult to connect with it. Now, there are a few other roadblocks to put in place if you are to avoid being stung by this shot. Okay? But those two things are the main things: your positioning and your stance. Now, let's talk about defensive positioning. If you're trying to avoid that overhand right, it is crucial to remember that there is no one right way of defending the overhand right. This will come down to how and where it is thrown from, as well as the height and range of your opponent. Okay? Therefore, it is vital to adjust your positioning to the specific threat coming your way. Okay? 5 minutes to 3? No way. Only been on here 10 minutes. Now, one of the first things learned in beginners boxing defense classes is stance. Now, there are 2 stances with most overhand rights thrown by orthodox fighters. The most dangerous of these is the looping overhand right, which tends to be aimed toward the left side of the head, right? Now, the attacking fighter may follow up a jab with this shot or throw it individually to counter a stray jab. Now, if your lead hand strays from its defensive position, assuming you are fighting from orthodox stance, you are exposed, okay? Now, you must have a measure of your opponent's style and shot range before you attempt to counter, okay? The overhand right. Reads are vital in guessing both their execution and when adjusting your defensive positioning before countering. It is generally a good idea to feel out your opponent before countering the overhand. It is likely that if they like to throw it, you will need to defend it first, right? Now take mental notes of where they are throwing the shot from, their form, positioning, and other factors that may help when countering it. Anticipation and confidence. And like I also said in the opening, timing is key for defending the overhand, okay? Timing. Defensive positioning and knowledge of your opponent are necessary for defending your overhand. As with lead hooks or uppercuts, punches in boxing, as for those 2 punches, knowing what the opponent has in the toolbox can narrow down the attack. And when you have a general idea of what's coming, it's easier to anticipate. But when defending the overhand, you must be confident in making split-second decisions, especially when looking to counter with shots of your own. Okay? Now here are some general tips when countering the overhand right. Like I said, there are two general types of overhand right. One is the classic textbook shot, going over the opponent's jab, while the other is more of a haymaker, designed to cause maximum damage, okay? Now, both can be showstoppers, but the latter is often wider and more unpredictable. But regardless of how it's thrown, you must understand how key elements of your style play into how you defend and counter it. Now, what works best for the outside fighter may not be as effective for the inside fighter defending the overhand right. Now, here are some ways to defend and counter the overhand right. Number 1, block and counter. When your opponent throws the right, perform a standard block using your left glove over your chin. Ensure your chin is tucked inside your shoulder. Turn slightly inward, rotating your hip as you absorb the shot. Now the counter window will be open momentarily as your opponent draws their right hand back, okay? This will give you the chance to hit back with a snapping right hand of your own. You know, after they throw the overhand, when they coming back, that's when you shoot your shot. And this can be seriously effective, but timing is key. You got to time it right at the right moment. After they throw the shot, you block it or duck it. And when they drawing that hand back, that's when you shoot your shot, a snapping right hand or left if you're southpaw, okay? Timing is key. Block and right uppercut. Now, similar to the standard block and counter with the right hand, you must be in the right position to block the incoming overhand right. See, that's why it's important to study your opponent, you know, and you know their style, okay? because you must be and knowing all that stuff will put you in the right position. Now raise your left glove in line with the incoming shot to block, keeping your chin tucked away, but ready to throw the counter. Now the uppercut is particularly effective when the opponent is leaning into the punch. If your uppercut counter is timed correctly, your opponent is compromised. His stance is compromised, and lack of balance could cause him to hit the deck. You land an uppercut right, okay? Number 3, slip and left hook to the body. Slip and left hook to the body. Now I know it ain't 3 o'clock. Slip and left hook to the body. Now if you're confident that you can time your opponent, right, over his overhand right, slipping and countering with a left hook is another option. Now this is not easy to do against faster, slicker boxers, but it can be devastating to the attacker, especially if they are putting too much attention on punching power and not enough on their balance and defense. Now when the punch has been thrown, bend your knees and move your head to the left. From here, you have an opening to land a left hook to the body. Just remember, the timing is crucial with this maneuver, as you do not want to walk into a looping shot. Number 4, duck and left hook to the head. Duck and left hook to the head. Now perfecting this counter to the opponent takes a lot of practice, okay? And as always, timing is crucial, as you must anticipate the shot, react, and move into the right position very quickly. Now aim for the midway point between your opponent and your position. Instead of moving your head to the left, drop your weight and duck under the opponent. Push your lead leg inside as they make their way to you. Now the opening here allows you to land 1 or 2 shots, and you can also pivot into a secondary position to fire off more punches. That's defending the overhand right. Now let's look at some people that had some good overhand rights. Of course, Rocky, Susie Q. Of course, Susie Q. There's Susie Q right there. Yeah. Susie Q with overhand. Now, Rocky Marciano's most famous offensive tool was his overhand right, nicknamed Susie Q. Rocky would throw the punch endlessly when at close range, throwing barrages as his opponent to smash the place to pieces their defense, as well as their will to continue fighting. Of course, Sugar Ray Robinson had a good one. There's Sugar Ray. See him? That's Rocky Graciano. Yep, there was a Rocky Marciano, and there also was a Rocky Graciano. Now, Rocky Marciano changed his name. It was Marquisiano or something, but he thought Marciano was more simpler for the ring announcers and the sports writers and stuff to pronounce. Marciano. So it went from Marquisiano to Marciano. So Just Do Boxing in the building. Sorry, Just Do. I was paying so much attention. I got to pay more attention to the chat because I missed Lonnie Lee's super chat, right? You can't miss super chat. Miss Cass told me one more Miss Super Chat and I'm gone. She says she already got some other box stories in mind to take my spot. So yeah, I got to tighten up, man. Yeah, one more mistake like that, I'm out of here. So yeah, I got to pay attention. Salute Just Do Boxing coming up at 4 p.m. Yeah, one more mistake, I'm out of here. That's what the boss told me. Huh? Yeah, Sugar Ray Robinson. Okay, I can't miss big heavyweight like Just Do coming up in here, man. You gotta hear his introduction. The voice. Yeah, I made a mistake yesterday too. Me and Old School was talking, And we was Just Do came in. And I said, just do boxing with that biased boxing. I meant non-biased boxing talk, man. Yeah, the voice. Y'all know how the voice do it over there. Sugar Ray Robinson. Now, Sugar Ray dropped a monster overhand right on Randy Turpin in the 10th round when he stopped him on September 12th, 1951. Now, watching film of young Sugar Ray in the early 1940s showed he had a devastating overhand right. Sugar Ray just had so many punches in his arsenal that he never really depended on one shot too much, because Sugar Ray had all the punches. Tim Weatherspoon had a good one too. Here's Tim. I didn't put Hearns and all of them because I just used them so much. And they just had all the punches. You said you had Rocky in every one of them. That's one of my favorite fighters. Rocky gonna be in there. Tim Weatherspoon is Tim on the right with the overhand. I don't know who that is he's fighting. Anybody know who that is? No, somebody from back in the day. Tim Weatherspoon had a really great overhand right. Just ask Frank Bruno. That might be Frank. Is that Frank Bruno? Joe or somebody? It might be Frank Bruno. But Tim had a real good, great overhand. Just ask Frank Bruno. Tim used the overhand right to pound Frank into the canvas like a nail when they fought. The overhand was a very reliable and effective weapon for Tim throughout his career. And there's Sugar Ray and Rocky Graciano again, because Rocky Graciano had a pretty good overhand too. Looked like he's getting ready to throw it. Looked like he's getting ready to throw the overhand. Okay. Yeah, Mike. He said the box historian is out here. I missed another super chatter. Big boxing royalty like Just Do Boxing coming in here and don't announce him here. I just did that today. This might be my last show. I don't know. I gotta see. But who was next? Rocky Graciano. Yeah, Mike. Rocky Graciano had a huge right hand. He was a huge right hand puncher with an incredible overhand. This is Graciano now. Rocky Graciano was known as one of the hardest punchers of his era. He was very powerful and physically imposing. Graciano wasn't scientific and he could easily be outboxed, but he could unleash and nail opponents with a big overhand right at any time in the fight. Yeah, Rocky was one of them ones. He could be losing every round and be getting washed. Then all of a sudden, you go to the bathroom and come back, the ring announcer in there, Rocky done put his man to sleep. Yeah, Rocky Graciano was like that. Joe knows, yeah, Rocky Graciano could end the fight at any time. Yeah, he's fighting Sugar Ray right there. Sugar Ray Robinson, that is. I don't even think Sugar Ray Leonard was even born yet at that time. Ernie Shavers. Supposed to be, that ain't Ernie Shavers. There's Ernie Shavers right there. I don't know who that is. There's Ernie Shavers right there. Got out of order. Coming over with the overhand. Looked like he'd have landed it. Is that Muhammad Ali? Ernie landed on? Wow. He fought Ali. Yeah, that's Ernie Shavers right there. Good overhand. Yeah. Ernie Shavers. And he's widely considered the hardest hitter in boxing history. Out of Ernie's 74 wins, 68 of them were knockouts. And I got my calculator right here. Let's find out what that percentage is. 68 knockouts to 74 wins. That's pretty good. 680, 74. 91%. 91% knockout rate for Ernie over his career. And that was a lot of fights, right? So that's damn good, 74 wins, 68 of knockouts, 91% for Ernie. Yeah. And yeah, 68 of 74 with knockouts, 91%. Many of those knockouts came via the overhand right, which was one of the most potent punches in boxing. Wait a minute. Shavers' overhand right was one of the most potent boxers both in Ernie's toolbox and all of boxing during his era. and beyond his era too. BBO Boxing TV in the building. What's up, BBO Boxing TV? Salute. Yes, BBO Boxing TV in the building. BBO comes on at 8 p.m. Got a regular slot, right, BBO? 8 p.m. weekdays. I think except for Fridays. The BBO Boxing TV. Another fire JBT channel. Yep. Favorite boxer is Tank. No, it's Teofimo. I'm just messing with it. Teofimo Lopez. Yep. Okay. Yeah, next is Max Baer. Max had a good overhand right too. Max had power, man. Max had that one hitter quitter too. He could be rolling along, losing the fight. You go to the kitchen and come back. Like I said, the ring announcer in there. The fight over. You missed it. All it took was one for Max, and there he is. Yeah, that's overhand. Not that high up though, but yeah, that could be a hook too. I don't know. What y'all think that is? That's overhand. Yeah. But anyway, Max Baer. Max Baer had problems with his hands for much of his career, but when they were healthy, his overhand right could match any heavyweight's overhand in boxing history. Okay? Baer had the same kind of rare power like an Ernie Shavers or George Foreman, that type of power that only God could give you. Okay? That kind of power. Just like when they always talking about in football, you can't teach speed, you can't teach power. Okay? You either got it or you don't got it. Okay? You either got it or you don't got it. BBO has your documentary on the Russells coming along, bro. I know you haven't put it out yet, have you? The Russells. Remember you said you was doing one on the I think the father. How's that coming, bro? Mike Rim in the building. What's up, Mike? Salute. The overhand today. Now where are we? Oh, next we just did Max Baer. Marcos Madonna had a good overhand. We talked about him when we were talking about the overhand, remember? He gave Floyd a lot of trouble. That's Max Baer. I didn't even change it. I'm sorry. My slide display is out of whack. If I can find Madonna. There's Madonna right there. Yeah, that's Madonna. Yeah, he gave Floyd a lot of trouble in their fight, you know, with that overhand. And he could throw it in close, man. You know, Madonna could, yeah. He could bring that backhand and get it to you fighting up close. Not a lot of fighters like to have a little range when they throw that overhand, but no, not Madonna. Didn't matter. He could be in tight and bring that overhand right over the top, man. He gave Floyd headaches in that first fight with it. Yep. I still think Floyd won. A lot of people say Madonna won. I think Floyd won it. Yeah. But salute to Mike Rim in the building. BBO Boxing TV came in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Marcos Madonna looped his overhand right towards his opponent in a way that made it hard to see it because it was coming from so close. And because it came from such an odd angle, right? It was a very effective punch for him. And early in his career, he relied on it a lot. Yes, he did. And Lennox, besides that good jab, that remember Emmanuel turned Lennox's jab and made it legendary. Lennox hardly used his jab before Emmanuel. But when he went from Pepe Correa to Emmanuel, that jab became one of the best in the business, man. Yeah. Yeah, that was the best move Lennox could have made. We did the profile on Lennox Friday. When he went from Pepe Correa to Emmanuel Stewart, that was the best move he could have made, man. Yeah. That was after he lost that first Oliver McCall fight. He said, Pepe, you got to go because I was supposed to get knocked out by this guy. And guess what? The first McCall fight, Emmanuel Stewart was McCall's trainer in McCall's corner, right? And after that, he switched to Lennox. Yep. He surely was. He was in McCall's corner. Yeah, then he Lennox hard him after that fight. Yeah. Okay, PVO said he just got some good stuff from Brother Hackett. Gave me some good stuff for it, almost ready with Gary Russell Senior documentary. Okay, looking forward to that, BVO. Looking forward to that, man. Okay, coming up from BVO Boxing TV, a documentary on the Russell's father. Okay, I don't know his name. Yeah, but the Russells, Gary Russell Senior, Gary Russell Senior documentary. Well, all of them, Gary, right? Gary Russell Senior documentary. Yeah, coming from BVO Boxing TV soon. Getting ready to put it out. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Lennox Lewis had a great overhead, right, man? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Okay, now. Yeah, Lennox. That's where we at. Lennox Lewis had an 84-inch reach, potent punching power, and a legendary jab. And those three things was a big reason in the devastating overhand right he had in his toolbox, right? Legendary jab, potent power, and an 84-inch reach, right? He could come from way back with that overhand. You couldn't touch him, but he could touch you. That's 84-inch reach. And Sonny Liston was like 5 inches shorter than Lennox Lewis, but had the same reach. Sonny had an 84-inch reach too. Incredible, man. Lennox was like, what, 6'6"? Something like that. And Sonny Liston was 6'1". They had the same reach, 84 inches. Yeah, Sonny had a crazy reach, man. Anybody missed that show for me in old school yesterday, you need to watch the replay. It was on Sonny Liston. Yeah, we did a joint venture yesterday. Yeah, but those three things really helped them develop that overhand. You know, he had the power, that long reach, and that legendary jab to set it up, right? Yeah. And yeah, he had a great, devastating overhand right. Now, that overhand right helped Lennox with an Olympic gold medal and 6 major titles in the professional ranks. Yeah, Lennox had six titles, man. Yeah, and all at heavyweight. Yeah, yeah, he had all of them. I don't even know if there is 6 major titles. What am I talking about? It's 4, but you know, I counted like he had IBC or something like that. That's not major, but he had it. Okay. Now I got 5 guys that had signature punches, you know, and they even named them, like Suzy Q from Rocky. Manny had Manila Ice, you know, being from the Philippines. Manila Ice, that was that right hook he had. But let's talk about them. 317, and I've been on here 10 minutes. This clock must be wrong, man. But 5 signature punches in boxing. You got the voice coming up in a little over half hour. Just do boxing. With that unbiased boxing talk. You know, give you the both sides of the situation, you know, balanced, and give it to you straight 100%. Okay? Coming up at 4 p.m. Let's look at these guys with the 5 signature punches. Now, they often say that boxing is the theater of the unexpected, right? That's what they say. Theater of the unexpected. Anything can happen in the ring. And oftentimes, it's extremely exciting, especially for the fans watching from ringside. Look at another word. I wrote it, but I can't read it. What is that? From? F-R-O-M? Yeah. I was going to say frog ring. It's from. I thought I had a pretty decent handwriting. But if you can't read your own handwriting, then you got a bad handwriting, right? But anyway, you know, boxing is extremely exciting, especially for the fans watching from ringside, right? And some fighters just have a knack for showmanship, a penchant for flair and flamboyance that can rile up any crowd, right? Now, most of the time, these very boxers have some pretty interesting techniques in their tool belt, like signature punches, unique only to them, and often punches that they developed themselves. Now, these techniques became part of their fighting style and were used to great effect. From Manny Pacquiao's double jab, straight left combination, to Mike Tyson's thunderous uppercuts. The greatest boxers in the world employed their very own signature punches in their arsenal. These punches were distinct and often flashy, and were used to tremendous effect. Now let's take a look at some of them, okay? Some of these incredible weapons. First, Susie Q again. Now, y'all probably tired of looking at Susie Q, but there's Susie Q again, going upside somebody's head. Okay, Rocky Marciano, Susie Q. Riddick Bowe called it the kiss. Okay, Joe. Larry Holmes, Big Jack. Yeah, Big Jack from Larry Holmes. Riddick Bowe, Susie Q. I mean, no. Riddick Bowe's a kiss. Rocky Marciano had Susie Q. Yeah. Yeah, and everybody he fought in championship fights met Susie Q. Take a drink. I'll be right with you. Yeah, everybody he met in championship fights got stopped by Susie Q. As a Charles, he fought him twice. Didn't stop him in the first fight, so he gave him a rematch. And he didn't have to because Rocky was a champion. But he had to stop him, so he gave him a rematch and stopped him. Now, legendary heavyweight Rocky Marciano finished with a professional record of 49 wins, no losses, 43 knockouts. That's about 90-something% too. Calculator right here. That's 87%, might about say 90, 87% knockout rate. 49 fights, 43 of them knockouts. And that was when he retired in 1955. Actually, he retired in 56. His last fight was in 55, but he officially retired in 56. Okay. Now, while it's certainly no easy task to maintain a perfect record while competing at the highest level of competition, Rocky just knew how to win, right? He was able to accomplish this feat through his sheer toughness and unrivaled power. That power was consistently showcased through his favorite punch, a thunderous overhand right, he fondly referred to as Susie Q. Now, Susie Q was no doubt the most devastating offensive weapon in Marciano's arsenal, right? Oh, excuse me. It was responsible for separating many of the heavyweight legends' opponents from their senses. And whenever it connected, they usually meant like salt for its foes, usually the end of the fight. His right hand was like a brick. It should be stated that Marciano didn't exactly face the best opposition during his era. And there's always going to be a knock on his record. But you can't fault Rocky for that. And nevertheless, not many would survive a clean hit from Susie Q. Not many. Yeah, it was the era he was in, man, that, he couldn't help who fought in his era. He missed Ali and all them by like 5. He would have been in his prime like 5 years later. He would have probably been out there with Liston, Floyd Patterson, early Ali, Yeah, but, he just came along a little early. And he would have been just as successful. Now, I wouldn't have him retired undefeated in that era with them, but he would have been successful. Yeah, he would have been successful. Next is Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson and the Gazelle Punch. That's the Gazelle Punch right there, that left hook of Floyd's. Floyd Patterson and the Gazelle Punch. Now, the Gazelle Punch was legendary heavyweight Floyd Patterson's signature punch. Patterson was, and still is, one of the most underappreciated heavyweight world champions in history. He was most known for his defeats to the GOAT, Muhammad Ali, and his knockout losses to Sonny Liston. Yeah, that's what he's most known for, yeah. But because of the immense power of his Gazelle Punch, Patterson was an absolute force to be reckoned with. Now, he ended his career with a professional record of 55 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, 40 knockouts. which is still exceptional, even by today's standards, right? Now, the gazelle punch was a left hook thrown in an upward trajectory, bending both knees to generate power, and then springing forward toward the opponent like a gazelle. Now, Patterson often leaped into the punch, putting his entire weight behind it. He called it a sure kill when it landed. And that's how Sonny got him. He leaped in there and got knocked out the first round 2 straight times, you know. That leap it in can be dangerous, you know. And Patterson had a knock on him throughout his career. He had chin problems. That was the rap on Floyd. Razor Ruddock made it. Razor Ruddock made it. Okay, well, we're going to make it. Yeah. Might have some link time. Razor Ruddock called his punch the smash. The smash. Now, former heavyweight world champion Donovan Razor Ruddock. Yeah, that's Razor on the right there. His was a left hook also, the smash. Donovan Razor Ruddock. He wasn't the most flashy and flamboyant boxer of his era, and he didn't have a signature move with a cool name like the Suzy Q or the Gazelle Punch, okay? But what Ruddock did have was a mean hooker cut that could lift opponents off their feet. Ruddock's signature punch was aptly called the smash. Simple in name, but no less deadly. It was a destructive left hook and uppercut hybrid punch, thrown at a 45-degree angle. See it? Thrown at a 45-degree angle, which made it extremely hard to defend against. Now, with the smash, Ruddock was able to pulverize his opponents, targeting their fragile chin with an absolute dynamite of a punch. Now, whenever this punch landed, it would send Ruddock's opponent reeling toward the ropes if they didn't go down. And Ruddock finished his career with a professional record of 40 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 30 by way of knockout. And the smash was a consistent part of his highlight reel. Can't leave Kid Gavilan out, man, that bolo punch. Kid Gavilan and the bolo punch. Yeah. Let's see what's that. Roland LaStarza. That was Roland LaStarza, Joe? Okay. That was Roland LaStarza, Suzy Q was getting there. Okay, Roland LaStarza. Yeah, he was one of Rocky's victims. Knocked him out. Yeah. Yeah. That was, oh man. I think he fought Roland LaStarza twice. I'm not sure. He might not have. I think he might have. I know he fought Jersey Joe twice and Ezra Charles twice. I think he might have fought LaStarza once. I think he had like 6 or 7 championship fights. He fought Ezra Charles twice, Jersey Joe twice, LaStarza, Archie Moore, and somebody else. Yeah. Okay. Next is Kid Gavilan and the bolo punch. Yeah, I know you remember that, Joe. Kid Gavilan and that bolo. Yeah, he made that famous. There's Kid. Yes, I got one more after Kid. I have some link to that. Kid Gavilan and the bolo punch. Now, arguably the greatest Cuban fighter of all time. See, a lot of them didn't get the term professional, like Felix Savant and Teofilo Stevenson. Yeah, I think Kid Gavilan defected or something way back there. Yeah, and he turned pro. Now, arguably the greatest Cuban fighter of all time. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a preview of Let's Talk Fashion in about 15 minutes, I think. If you don't duck me today, if you don't duck us today, arguably the greatest Cuban fighter of all time. He was the national hero down there. His real name was Gerardo Gonzalez, right? But more commonly known as Kid Gavilan in the boxing ring. And he was a former undisputed welterweight world champion between 1951 and 1954, okay? Yeah, at that time, I think Cubans, I don't even think they were fighting in the Olympics back then. Yeah. But he what I just call it? What's the word when you escape out of there? Damn, I just said it. But he did that and came over and started fighting professionally because they weren't allowed to turn pro. I just said the word. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. Like Ugos did, came on one that raft. What do you call that, man? I just said it. Somebody put it in the chat. Man, I gotta know. Yeah, oh, thank you, Joe. He fought Lastarza twice. Okay. Fought it before he got the title. Okay, yeah. You're always dropping gems, hit boxing history gems. I'll get some more stories. They'll find us. We'll find us. Joe found us. Okay. Lost my place again. Kid Gavilan, yeah. What do you call it though when they come out of Cuba like Ugos did? I said it a minute ago. But when you come to the United States to get away from Cuba, Ugos came on the raft, I think like 2 or 3 times. Tough man, I would have just stayed there. Sharks floating all around and stuff. But yeah, Kid Gavilan, he was a welterweight champion between 1951 and 1954. His signature offensive weapon was the bolo punch. And it was just a hook combined with an uppercut, right? It was usually thrown behind a distraction, which was common with the opposite hand. And the bolo punch would be thrown, you would throw the distraction first, then with the opposite hand, you throw the bolo punch in a circle of motion. After an opponent's concentration was broken, the bolo punch was snuck in. And bolo is a loose translation of the Filipino word for machete, a broad, heavy knife typically used to cut through the thick vegetation in the jungle. That's what a machete is, right? That's what a bolo means, right? And with the bolo punch in his repertoire, Gavilan tallied 28 knockouts in his career, which he ended in 1958. He had 138 fights, right? No, 143. 108 wins, 30 losses, and 5 draws. So you can say he wasn't a power guy. He had 30 knockouts in like 143 fights. Now, although Gavilan wasn't the originator of the bolo punch, that was the originator was Seferino Garcia. But Gavilan was probably the most effective with it. But other great boxers like Sugar Ray Leonard, well, I've only seen Sugar Ray Leonard use it one time in that Roberto Duran fight. Roy Jones Jr. and Joe Kawasaki also used the punch, okay? And finally, Manny Pacquiao is the last one with the signature punches. I know it ain't 3:30. I only been on here 10 minutes. That's crazy, man. Manny Pacquiao called his punch Manila Ice. Manila Ice. Okay? Former 8th Division boxing world champion and Filipino icon. Former senator, ran for president. Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao was simply phenomenal as a young fighter in the late 90s and early 2000s. Fighter of the decade, 2001 to 2010. He ran through that like crazy. A lot of people say that was really on those steroids, PEDs, but I don't know. Never proven to be a cheater. Never proven. The Manny had a fast and powerful left hand that his foes have likened to a pistol bullet. Going from the southpaw stance and with his whirling dervish style, it was explosive and lethal, that left hand. Now, early in his career, Manny was considered very one-dimensional. And in fact, he probably would have never become the boxing legend he is today without developing his right hand to complement his left, right? And that's when he became a two-fisted beast once he developed that right hand. And with the help of Hall of Fame coach, legendary trainer, Freddie Roach, Manny honed his right hand to be as good a weapon as his left hand. And he developed a stunning right hook that was just as potent as his left hand, right? As any other weapon he had. And Pacquiao and Roach called that right hook Manila Ice, right? You know, that's obviously named after the capital city of the Philippines, you know, Manila Ice. You know, where Pacquiao is from, was a senator down there. And also because it was deadly enough to ice his opponents when landed. It was a right hook that no one expected. And it's hard to argue how effective it was, given that Pacquiao finished his career with a record of 62 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 39 knockouts. You know, that's a lot of fights for the era he fought in, man. You know, 72, Floyd only had 50. So 72 fights in the era Manny fought in was incredible, man. Nobody fights that much nowadays, and Manny wasn't that long ago. I think Manny, is he eligible for the Hall of Fame this year? No. I think it's 3 years now. He might be. I think they changed it from 5 to 3, but when did Manny last fight? When did he fight Keith Thurman? Was that not? But Manny talking about fighting again. So I don't know, man. Yeah. He talking about fighting Mario Barrios, remember? But there you have it, the overhand. Tomorrow, tune in tomorrow because we're going to talk about father, son / daughter, both that were fighters, and then some father-son training teams. Like Joe went way back, the Johnsons, and then the Fragers, Marvis and Joe. I'm gonna include them 2 pairs in there. I'm gonna have to add them in. There's something right up on it, yeah. And the Haney's training team, the Teofimos. Might include Calvin Ford and Tank, because that's father Tank with it, yeah. Calvin used to take Tank to work with him. Worked at this seafood place up there. Yeah, I know a lot of people that work there. Yeah. And you work at Phillips, Miss Cass? Oh, I didn't mean to say the name. But yeah. So I might include them. Not biological father, but like a father figure. But yeah, Yoel and Zab Judah. Got a whole bunch of them. Muhammad and what's his daughter's name? Layla Ali. Joe got 2 of them. Marvis, you know, Joe in the chat. Joe Frazier got 2 of them, Marvis and his daughter Jackie, remember? So yeah, Joe had a son and daughter that fought. Yeah, I forgot about that momentarily. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in. And if Let's Talk Fashion can comment whenever he gets ready. We always do that quarter of it. I'm gonna put the link in. See what's happening out there. But I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I always enjoy your company in here. You know, just boxing talk. That's all it is. I'm part of the Fire JBT network. You know, picking up these airwaves. It's early in the week. Friday is a huge day in the JBT, man. Did Remo and Ed McQueen ever start the casuals up? I thought it was supposed to be last Friday. I was very busy last Friday. I didn't even get a chance to check it out. But yeah, and then we got, you know, the other news show, Angry White Men, come on Friday at 10. Yeah. Green Yard. Okay. I'm putting the link in. Angry White Men, Fridays at 10. Fire show. William Old School of Rant and D1. I hope we don't get sued by Angry White Men because I done made William Old School of Rant my co-host too on Mondays. No. Is that a conflict of interest? We both part of the JBT. Now, if I was something else, I might get sued by the Angry White Men podcast, but no. Yeah. Okay. Here comes the link in a minute. And tomorrow, yeah, it's going to be a very good show on the father, daughter, son fighters and some father and son trainers. And then Thursday, the Boxing in the State series continues with Florida. I know Roy Jones, Andre Berto. It's a whole bunch of them from Florida, man. Talking about the other day, remember? I think Florida's got the most of any state I've done so far. You know, I don't know. California might have Florida beat. As far as I know boxing fans, they do. We got the great Thomas Hill from California, man. Ain't nobody else boxing knowledge out here in these YouTube streets. bigger than Thomas Hill. No way. From the great state of California, sunny Southern. I don't know if it's. I don't know where T Hill's from. Southern California or Northern California. You might come up here and tell me in a couple minutes. Okay. Make sure everything is set up right. I think I missed something. Something don't look right, but it's right. I sent Old School the link yesterday to come up. I sent it to his phone, and he said the link I sent him was starting a whole nother stream. I'm not good at this stuff, but that's the right link if anybody wants to come up and Thomas Hill is from Southern Compton. City of Compton, California. Yeah. All right, Lonnie Lee. How long you been in here, Lonnie Lee? I didn't even notice you was in. Lonnie Lee in the building. What's up, Lonnie? I'm gonna mess around and lose my job. I keep missing. I've got my first warning, I told you. But I can't because I'm the only box historian in history. So far. Yeah. Ain't no more box historians at T Hill. I think I'm the only one. So my job might be safe. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be a very good show. We're going to talk about some of those fathers and sons and daughters that fought. And, like I was saying, Joe pointed out Joe Frazier and Marvis Frazier, but Joe Frazier got a son and a daughter, Marvis and Jackie. Remember Ali Frazier 4? Later, Ali and Jackie Frazier lied. Yeah. Ali won 4-2. Yep, they called it Ali Frazier 4. I think that was the first women's pay-per-view. I think it was. Yeah. But salute, Lonnie Lee. Well, you came in the back door on me, 245. Okay. All right, Lonnie. Salute. Yeah, I'm going to I'm supposed to be looking something up, but I forgot already. Oh, Florida. It was a whole bunch of them from Florida, man. Big name fighters. And I'm going to look it up right there because we're going to be talking about them Thursday. Oh, the profile Friday this week is the life and career of Miguel Cotto. Yep. Miguel had a potent left hook. Yes, he did. Miguel said the biggest win of his career was when he beat Margarita, because remember, Margarita cheated. Busted Miguel all up, had that stuff in his glove, and Miguel got his revenge. He said that was the biggest win of his career. Getting him back. Oh, shit. Thomas Hill, you can't be backstage. Hello? You backstage? I don't see you. Yeah. Okay. Give me a minute. Later. Yeah, what was I just talking about? Florida. Let me fix this. Told you I'm not a technology type person. I should have my 7-year-old granddaughter here with me. She's better than me with this technology stuff. But we still got time. Yeah, I'm gonna go hit this Florida fighters in a minute. But yeah, is everybody ready for that big, huge card we got coming this weekend, man? Wow. It's here. Unbelievable. Who y'all got, Bud or Madry Move? I got Bud. Bud just, he's an Ali type. He has something for everybody, man. When he gets up in that ring. Old School said yesterday Boots would stop Bud now. I don't know. Like I said, I'll give it to Bud right now. But, another year, I think Boots would get him. I really do. I think Boots would get him in another year. got to be quiet for a minute. Bear with me. Thomas Hill had to call me. That's cool. Call just now and school me on the link. But I appreciate it. Also appreciate everybody hitting the like appreciation button. That's the like in the JBT. Now that's right. Copy. Slash. Now try that one. The hill. Oh shit. Oh, hit enter, guys. Yeah. That would help. If I would send it, right? I said boxes from California. We were talking about Florida, right? It's a whole bunch of them. Oh, I messed up. Oh, goodness. Yes, just give up. Oh, damn, that worked. I don't know how, because I didn't have it right. There's Remo. No, that's Thomas Hill. What's up, Thomas Hill?
Oh, you know you got the best thing. Cash?
I thought I had it wrong again.
You didn't have it right. You did it right this time.
Oh, cool. What's happening?
Oh, man. I'm sitting here getting schooled, learning about the overhand.
Looking forward to this big card we got this weekend. The August 3rd card is here.
How you see it playing out?
Bud. I got Bud and Pitbull, Andy Ruiz. Of course, David Morrell and Andy Cruz. Those are my winners. I don't see any upsets in there anywhere. You? See any upsets?
No, I think that the only one that possibly could be an upset. I mean, well, the Bud fight could be an upset only if.
Yeah.
Only if Bud doesn't have a good day in the office, man. I mean, but the guy, he leaves himself too far open when he throws punches, man. And
yeah, magic move, right?
Yeah, you can't do that against Bud. Bud gonna take advantage of that left and right. I don't know how that fight ends. I think it goes the distance, but
yeah.
But I mean, I think that he just tattoos him all night long. I think that the closest one to possibly an upset would be the Rayo Pitbull fight.
Okay.
But that's only if Rayo is able to accommodate, himself whenever the pressure is being applied to him, because he's going to have to stay focused.
Pitbull is just so hard to get to, man.
Man, it's hard as any, man. The dude defense, people talk about him. His defense is pretty damn tight, man. It's hard to get shots on him. Okay. And he hits you with some serious shots.
And he ain't going backwards. And it's hard to get him.
That's the thing. He's going to have to be able to be poised when he's coming at him to not like flinch, but actually hit him with some good stuff while he opens himself up to throw the punches to hit him, because he's going to be lunging at times, throwing punches, and he's got to take advantage of it. If he could do that and he could box, he has a chance to pull it out, but if not, he's getting knocked out.
Yeah.
And Morrell, that's a knockout. I think Andy Ruiz a knockout. Big Baby.
Antonio Moran, right?
Yeah. That's going to be a knockout.
Yeah. Dude, what's up, Remo?
What's going on, man?
Oh, not
how you feeling? You hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I called to cuss you out, man, because last week I was here. You just got to me late. You got to me late.
I looked up. It was like 3:58. I said, "Oh shit!"
I was here. I was here the whole time waiting, but
it was calling. My fault. It was my fault. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was up in that back too, man.
I know. I didn't even see you, T. I missed the super chat the other day. Lonnie sent me. I didn't even.
I was calling you, sending you texts and everything. You wasn't. You was into it though. You was giving us the good.
I saw all that after the show was over. Yeah. Your call and the text and everything. I said, "Oh shit." We back around to another Let's Talk Fashion again.
Yeah, man. They keep getting better and better. And you know why I say they get better and better? Because I have more fun editing them.
Okay.
That's how I know. Like, I'm really falling into the craft of it, and then the conversations is lending enjoyment for me working on the projects afterwards. So,
Hey Remo, did you and Ed come on last Friday?
No, Ant was with the family. I told him enjoy the family. We'll figure that out. He was on vacation, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll figure it out, and I just don't want to rush it. I like my production to look a certain way, so.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
want it to be
work
right.
on that. Yeah, we'll work on that soon. But when it hit, to be not fire but fire.
Yeah, all right. I already know that. Yeah. What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm sitting down with a fellow designer turned jeweler. So we kind of got into the game around the same time, or our paths parallel, but we from two different parts of the city. Okay. So we just gave our conversation on, what it was like to be, almost like sparring partners, but appreciating everybody's work from afar,
Yeah.
Good conversation, man. Good conversation. I'm over here sparring with D1 right now and the rest of the gang.
Okay.
So I've been taking a little sabbatical from boxing. So I've been working on on the back scenes with with the show and stuff like that. But just listening, and boxing gotta be one of the worst sports for fans, because you can't make motherfuckers happy, man.
Not at all.
It's like they complain about where the fight is and who got what, and this person won so much money. Just enjoy the goddamn fight.
And boxing got the most fair weather fans too, man. When a fighter win, they all on the band. Then when he lose, he never was shit. It's crazy, man. Just crazy.
Partner to this point, man. Just enjoy what they giving you.
Let's enjoy it. Yeah, that's all you can do. Because you're only gonna get what they giving you, right? Can't change.
Because I sat back there and I thought about it. I said, man, I don't want to keep getting into arguments. And it'd be the same argument about how much this one got paid, who the A side, who the B side, and then the person who was the A side that had all the belts, they get their ass kicked in. But that person was never it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I just think, to avoid all of that, just be a fan of what is being presented to you. Because this card right now, it's a good card. It's a good card. It's no stars on this card, but it's a good card and good matchups.
It's solid.
It's a star in the making.
Yeah, we not in control of what stadium is available, or who got what purse, or who did what coin flip. All of that shit is out of our hands. The only thing that we can do is watch it, support it, talk about it to get our revenue up as far as content promoters or creators. And other than that, build it up.
I never go outside the ring. What I'm talking about, I never go outside I always focus on what happened in the ring. As far as I go with it. As far as the money and all that, I never speak on that. There ain't nothing wrong. I don't, I just
not really our place to speak on that.
Yeah. You'll never hear me talking about that.
Like, all we're here for is the product.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping that this. Go ahead, Remo.
No, I'm listening to you.
I was just gonna say that's why I'm hoping that this report about Tank and Shakur getting that fight finalized is true, man, because that's something that we definitely need, especially since the Loma fight fell through.
Yeah.
You can't replace it with just any old thing, man. You got to replace it with something that's going to be paramount to it. So that would be the next move for me, and I hope that that's the next move that we get.
I look at this as a step up, man, from Tank and Loma, Tank and Shakur.
I do, from the standpoint of fighting. I think this is a step up from fighting.
Right.
I honestly believe that Shakur, at this point in time, I think he can get the best of Loma as well too. It'll be a tough fight, but I think he can. He has enough to pull that fight out. It'll be a tough one though. But Tank, I'm already sure that Tank was about to spark him.
I'm greedy. I wanted both of them, Tank and Shakur and Tank and Loma.
I think it would have been better going it the other way and getting the fight, but it might play back the way that it is now. He get the fight with what's her name, and then next after that, pursue the Loma fight. But what I would have liked for it happen. Go ahead.
I just tell you, think Loma be in the mood by then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's up to chance. But I mean, I know there's no short of confidence in him. Mm-hmm. You know, I know he'll get in the ring because he believes in his ability. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It depends on how everything shake out. I just wanted to make the fight go with Shakur happening, going with Loma, and then maybe Tank going after Barancich to try to like get the belts and then to unify them bad boys, meeting up the winner of each fight. But that's a perfect world. I'll take whatever I can get because I just want to see the fights.
Yeah.
Listen here, Loma ain't no fool. Loma, like if you think about it, forget him being a warrior, legacy and all that. His main goal for coming back was he wanted a chance at undisputed, right?
Yeah.
Him losing to Haney and crying and all of that. Right. That wasn't because he felt he was slighted. When you're an athlete and your window is starting to close, you feel that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he got a second chance. He chose like he should be able to choose. When you're a veteran, you should be able to choose your path. At your job, I think people as boxing fans, sports fans, they don't realize that it parallels real life. At your job, you don't want to do things that you're going to tell the rookie to do.
That's
at
right.
work. Mm-hmm. And as a veteran, they usually give you the first ownership of assignment based on your time in the company, right or wrong?
Right. Yep. 100%.
So now for him to say, my last chance, my last hurrah at actually earning the undisputed, I'm gonna be so far away from it, from in his mind fighting the guy who is arguably the best in the division, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna take the Tank fight. I'm gonna let Tank fight whoever. Barancich is the weakest link. If Bob can get me that fight, let me get 2. And now let Tank deal with Shakur, which in his mind, I believe he thinks that both of them could beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only off of skill, one has strength and one has youth on their side. So him fighting Shakur is like him fighting in the mirror, but just 10 years he's just 10 years his senior. It's the difference. So let them handle each other. We're gonna go back on my end now. And then if I so happen to have the best night of my life against Tank, I get undisputed. And if not,
that makes sense.
I get the biggest pay. I could walk off with my retirement, just like our jobs, retirement, pension, 401k, all of that I could walk away with and go into the sunset and be just fine.
Yeah.
That's his plan.
That makes plenty of sense.
So that would be ideal then. If he can get Barancich, that would be ideal. Because then you make that fight that much more meaningful because now it's for everything.
Right.
It's for undisputed. He could drive the dollar up a little bit more if that's what he wants to go out to the pasture. But now the conversation makes sense,
And you know what else, Remo? And Loma knows if that's the path he wants to go, Bob will do it for him because it's easy to get the Barancich fight, right?
Absolutely. The only problem with all of that is that other guy, Williams Zepeda. That's the only monkey wrench in that. That's the only
he could throw a big wrench into it. You're right. Zepeda. Because he might knock somebody off.
not even if he does knock somebody off, or if he prolongs the meeting between him and Tank. So let's say he beats Barancich, and then Zepeda says, I want to jump in line, give me Tank for a payday, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't lend to Loma because of age.
That's right. Yeah.
Because then he'll be 38, 39 getting that fight. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Tank is definitely...
We're going to get it, though. I think we're going to get everything that he says he wants because he seems adamant about being Barry Sanders or being what's the guy, Megatron. He wants to. He said when he said he's done, if that's what his mind is made up on, who is he? Who are we to say, give us more?
That's right. We can't. That's a fact. Yeah.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna give you one more. I know it's 4:00, but I'm gonna give you one quick thing, right? I heard an interview with Tim Bradley, right? Tim Bradley said he went to the doctor years ago. He got his brain scanned and he did the whole. He went to Pittsburgh or something like that, where the football players go to get the full body scan and everything.
Yeah.
And they told him you should consider retiring, right? His retirement date from when he actually retired from that scan was 3 years later.
Oh man.
Right? He said, I felt the signs coming, but I didn't have enough in the bank that would allow me to live the life I wanted to live. And he told his lady, I need a little bit more.
Yeah. Damn.
So when we say as fans, this person shouldn't get this or shouldn't get that. Now, if he would have went one more year, would he be talking like some of the boxers that we talk about?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
You always
Conversation.
that. And we don't know what's going on in their personal lives, or if they've been through a situation like that with a doctor or something. We don't know all that stuff, you know?
Absolutely. We don't know about that. We don't know what baby mama's asking for what divorce lawyer took this. We don't know nothing on the back end. Is the house fully paid off for? Because just like I say, our lives are no different from theirs. It's just that we have jobs and they have a job that pays them once or twice a year.
Right. That's all it is. They live in life just like we are. Got the same problems and everything, man.
Exactly. I know it's 4:00.
Yeah.
You big dog. T Hill.
Okay.
Hold it down, my brother.
You got anything
man,
else,
we about to go and move up. Oh no. Remo said it perfectly.
All
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that was spot on, 100%, man. They're human beings just like everybody else with a job and with a life and the problems and stuff, you know. So, yeah, we don't know what's going on in those people's lives. But I appreciate Remo and Thomas Hill coming up on the panel, helping the show move along. And also everybody that was in the building. Because you know, if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Lonnie Lee, #JBT. Mike Grimm, BVO Boxing TV, Just Do Boxing, Let's Talk Fashion, #JBT, that's Remo. Thomas Hill, #JBT, Horry Faints, Melanin Queen 27, appreciate Melanin Queen 27, 1000%. Tim Layton, #JBT, Al Booger, what's up, AB? Joe, Mike Mazik, Trump, D for the win, and Mike Grimm, and Miss Cass, #JBT. Don't miss tomorrow. We're going to talk about the father and son and daughters that boxed, and also father-son training teams. Just Do Boxing straight ahead. This is Cass Sports. See you tomorrow at 2. Everybody have a great day, too.